Wizards of the Coast is about to give us the next offering for Secret Lair, but really it comes down to substance versus price. Not all secret lairs are created equal, but for today's video we're going to find out if the next upcoming secret lair is going to be worth opening your wallet up to. Welcome back everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out today for another video as we discuss the next iteration of what we have on offer from Secret Lairs. Play-Doh. Now the good news is that I like to hear is Wizards of the Coast is using their own IP. I mean, they own Play-Doh. It is part of Hasbro. This makes perfect sense. I'm surprised they haven't done it sooner. Now, of course, this is one of those collaboration ones they do to do fundraising, which is a very important thing to do in today's world. So I'm all for that. But going forward, let's also look at what this product is, and that is going to be, is it worth the money? Because not everyone is going to buy every secret lair. Not every secret lair, appeals to every piece of the audience. But if you've got good value packed into a secret lair, you're more likely to be successful than not, and there are lots of Magic cards that do and are needing a massive reprint. Wizards of the Coast may not have chosen the best ones, but they did give us a few tidbits that are worth mentioning, which is why I'm doing a secret lair video. It's not just because maybe I loved Play-Doh as a child, and they're maybe tugging on some nostalgic heartstrings. Let's take a look at this first. Now, our first card I want to talk about is going to be the Polyraptor. Now, guys, in case you didn't know, these are all reprints, of course. They already exist in the world, and in the case of the Polyraptor, you're looking at a card that goes for around $15. So if we've got secret lairs costing $39.99, we're already part of the way there with the Polyraptor. Now, when we look at this card, I mean, the artwork to me is awesome. I fell in love looking at these Play-Doh ones, and I was waiting for them to actually, release them out, and they chose Polyraptor, which makes a good value sense card that could use a reprint, and it's going to kind of get some eyeballs glued on because the artwork is actually pretty awesome. So, yes, this is a key card. It's great. It's got value. Players are going to like what they see. I know I do. Now, diving into our next card, we've got Green Sleeves Morrow Sorcerer. Now here's another interesting one. See, I haven't seen this card in a long time, but let's not forget that it is landfall, and landfall fits into a lot. Guess what? This card is around $17 US. Now, another great thing is this one with the landfall ability triggering and the way decks are being created, you're going to have a lot of eyeballs. Not only do you have the Polyraptor, you've got Green Sleeves. I like the look of what we're seeing right now, and so will a lot of other players out there. But of course, with most secret lairs, there's not a ton of cards, and this is just a 4-card secret lair. So our next one is going to be the Academy Manufactor. Now, this one here, as guys, this is a $2 card. This is not a super expensive one. The assembly worker is not going to, hit home for a lot of players. But at the same time, it's not the worst card to put in there, is it? I like the idea of what they've done with it, and not every card can be expensive. So how is the last card going to pair away? Is this going to draw eyeballs? And yes, it is, because it is Worm Coil Engine made out of Play-Doh. And let's face it, Worm Coil Engine has been reprinted lots of times. It still holds at around between $6 and $9 a card. So if we are looking at all these individual cards, if I backtrack you through each one of these cards, and you see all the values contained, right? We say, okay, we've got a $17, a $16, a $2, and between a $6 and $9 card. And it's a secret lair, which means it's very singular. It's kind of one and done. I think they've got a hit on their hands. And I mean, I think a lot of you are going to agree with that in the comment sections for this video. When we look at the idea of Play-Doh, let's remember that other than hiring the artist who either actually created Play-Doh or used some kind of AI generated stuff to create that Play-Doh images, no matter how you look at it, the idea is still the IP that is owned by Hasbro, and that makes perfect sense. It's not going to cost them any money. The cards being recycled and are still of high use to a lot of players are going to get a lot of eyeballs and a lot of appeal when players look at these things. The fact it's also a fundraising event is also going to get a few people kind of on board saying, you know what, if I'm going to spend some money right now and I like these secret lairs, it's good to know that some of the proceeds, of course, are going toward a notable cause that maybe can help some people out. Guys, I get that the businesses use it as a tax write-off, but it still kind of gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling knowing you're helping out. So I look at all that and I combined it. And when I thought about this as a video, I said, yeah, this one's going to be pretty good. It caught my eye enough that I'm doing a video on it myself. And I think a lot of people are actually going to line up for this one. The idea I now have in my head, though, is did they print enough and is it going to sell out? Because if you add, as an example, 200,000 copies of this secret layer into the market, I'm not sure if most of you guys are aware of how much actually gets printed nowadays, but this is a blip. 200,000 copies of a card is next to nothing, considering the size of the Magic the Gathering universe of players and around the world. All the avenues and impacts it's going to have are going to be minimal. The fact that these cards are kind of going to be special and rare and going to be quite the conversation piece to bling out a deck means it's going to catch attention when you see it inside a deck. The singles are likely going to sell well, and you are going to have a lot of people kind of interested in where this is going to go. And I can't say I'm not interested, or I wouldn't, again, be talking about it. So this might be one that is going to see a price spike probably within about 6 months of it being released. We saw the same with other secret layers, kind of like Evil Dead, The Princess Bride. There have been other secret layers that were very limited. Monty Python. They sold out right away and they really skyrocketed in price. And now they're very hard and difficult to get on the market. And any fans of those IPs or that idea is really paying top dollar to get their hands on it. So I think this is one of those secret layers you're going to have a lot of people lining up. The queue is going to be long, and I actually expect this one to sell out quite quickly. But I'm always, as a content creator, interested to see what players are thinking about when they saw that. When you see those Play-Doh cards, is that something you're going to put in a deck? Is that something you're interested in? Because I think players are going to kind of hone in on this one. Or do you think it's going to sit on the sidelines and collect dust on the Secret Lair website? Not everything they create can be a winner. But when it is, and when it's decent cards, I think you have a better chance of doing so. You guys let me know how you feel about this one. Slap some comments in the comment section. And thank you again for hanging out today with the Mox Man for another video. A shorter video, but still, I think it needed to be said. Have a great one. We'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back to the end of the video. This is the section where you get to see not just names going by, but thoughts and feelings of people who believe. These are the supporters of the channel. If you're on this board, you're a patron, you're a YouTube membership member, and you've stepped up to the plate. I want to thank you again to all the members out there who support this channel each and every day. This content creation is made because of that support. So thank you again. See you tomorrow. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble section of the video. If you're here, you can't leave. You gotta stay. Grab a seat. Stay a while. Secret layers. Not every secret layer is good. The substance of the secret layer versus the price tag most times do not meet up. You can have a cool artist with great stuff. You could give me a Conan secret layer that's got garbage cards as the overlay. Kind of like what they did with the Evil Dead. They had a couple of good cards, a couple of not, right? I didn't like the fact they didn't give Ash his own character. It was just an overlay card. Some of those things don't equate, and you're still going to purchase them. Other times, you'll be like, do I really need this? Well, the cards inside are pretty good. If I bought these all at a store, what would the value be? You add that up and you say, hey, this secret layer is cheaper. I'm going for that secret layer. That doesn't happen as often, but this is one of those cases where it's pretty close. So you can look at it and say, hey, if any of these cards are going to go up in value, if any of these things maybe now aren't going to get a reprint, we may see an increase in value. I can justify this to myself. The substance of this little mini set is worth buying. Where other times you're like, I can buy these as singles later on. Lots of these cards end up in the secondary market. I can pick up the one card I care about. Now, at the same time, we've seen what happens with other secret layers like Evil Dead, some of the ones I mentioned in the video. Some of the cards become very expensive. Because the further we get away, every year that goes by that we don't see a reprint of a secret layer, a rehash, a montage of secret layers being resold, means Wizards is less likely to do it or is going to use it as a big piece of ammunition for some later reprint years down the road, which means the value of those cards will continue to accumulate until they hit that reset button. Remember, they always have the option. They got the nuclear option on those secret layers whenever they want, and there's nothing we can do about it because they agreed. They said, hey, this is what we're doing. You guys are all buying it. You knew going in. Be curious to see if those people who collected the secret layers would treat it like a reserve list later and say, hey, man, I've had these cards for like 15 years and now you decide to reprint them? That's how we felt with reserve list cards. Either way, very interesting times ahead. Looking forward to seeing how this is all going to play out in the main stage with players, though. Are they going to buy a Play-Doh based Secret Lair and use it. Because it's still the real car. You know, it's worm coil engine. Very decent. Great card. But they're going to use it. Or they're just going to sit at home looking in the backdrop pretty and stuff. Interesting times. This ramble jamble is now officially over. You can now move on to the next topic of choice. A reminder, if you're at the end of this video, that there may be video disruptions this weekend. It is my anniversary. I will be with the missus. I will try to do things ahead of time on Friday and get as much as I possibly can done. But as soon as it hits Saturday morning, we're all on our own until Monday. All right? It's the 50th. We got to make Mrs. Mox happy. And that's what matters at that moment. Guys, thanks again for hanging out. Boomstick edition. Ramble in the Jamble.